What's up everybody and welcome back to another video. I am the Hobbyist and today I'm going to finally get to show you the upgrade overview of my team associated Rc8.2e. This I got on a Craigslist deal and it is an awesome racing buggy kit. It's an older one, so I use it as a basher buggy, but I got a great deal on it and I want to show you everything that has been done to it. It starts as a kit, so a lot of this is going to be modifications. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So let's start with some small things first. If I take off the body clips, I did put on these Proline body clip tabs. They're really cheap, they're like rubber, and yeah, they're just super easy. Now, when I got this, it did not come with a body, so I had to buy one and paint one myself. This is a J Concepts Striker 4 buggy body made specifically for the nitro version of this buggy, but all I did was just not cut out the hole for the nitro engine head, and it works really cool as a electric buggy. And as you can see, I've done this blue with a white and gray stripe and then black down the middle, and I love how this paint job came out when it was new, and I'm going to do this paint job for this buggy from now on. It just looks so good. So if we put that aside, looking at the underside of this vehicle, or under the body I guess, you can see a lot of stuff going on. So the first and most obvious one I would say is the castle system. Now I got this for such a good deal and it came with this castle system. This is a Mamba Monster X ESC 6S compatible with a 2200 kV brushless motor. It is not the censored version, it is sensorless, but for the price it is a really good deal and I'm happy to have this motor. It's super awesome. Paired to that is a 20-tooth pinion gear, so it is a very tall gearing, but with the torque of this motor, it does not really matter. However, I did notice there was a little bit of a temp issue, so I got this Power Hobby dual turbo fan, and I got two of these, one for me and one for my friend. These things crank air. I highly recommend them. They're like $20 on eBay. Power Hobby Twin 1/8 scale turbo fan is what you'll want to look up. And these two fans spin super fast, and the heat sink, it all just dissipates so much heat. I've never had a temperature issue with this vehicle since I put this on. Now, the motor itself is connected to a Grid 7075 aluminum motor mount. So it's the top plate and then this entire motor mount plate here. This is a really beefy motor mount. It came with the buggy when I got it, and it is really firm. I heard that the earlier versions of this had like flexing problems, but this one does not, so it's a very good motor mount. Right next to the motor I have the team associated blue anodized aluminum chassis braces. That's kind of standard procedure that I do on all my RCs, and I did that to the front as well. It has the blue aluminum front one. And if we look up front here, it's a Power HD 23 kg waterproof Metal Gear servo. It's a pretty inexpensive servo and you get a good amount of performance out of it. Connected to that is a Hot Racing 25 tooth spline clamping servo horn. The original one that it came with kept rubbing on the receiver box, so I got this one that has a bit of a kick up so that this is no longer rubbing. Inside the receiver box is a I don't remember the brand. I'll put a link down in the description, but it's a really inexpensive Spectrum compatible receiver. It's 3 channels. I think it uses the DSM-2, but it's like 16 bucks for a 3-channel receiver, which if you get the newer Spectrum receivers, you can't get them for that price. So it's a really good deal. You can find them on Amazon. I will put the link in the description down below. Moving throughout, since this was a kit, it came with a lot of the nicer parts, so this was standard, so were the shock towers, so were these massive shocks. Wheels and tires, they are pre-glued. These are Duratrax lockups, I believe. They're the buggy variant. They come on these disc wheels. You can get them in a couple different colored disc wheels, but they're a really nice tire. They're kind of soft, so I don't recommend them as a all-terrain RC tire. So if you do a lot of like road driving, I would not recommend these because they are very soft. I mean, these look like they have a lot of tread, but this is nothing compared to what they originally had. And I've been driving this a ton on gravel, so they wear down relatively quickly. But they're still a really good off-road tire if you're doing a lot of dirt driving like I do, and they really bite in very nicely. And I would say they're comparable to Proline Badlands. If we move over a little bit, you can see the wing. It's a little bit broken, but this is a J Concepts. I think this is also called the Striker, like the Striker 2 wing. I'll put the link in the description for this as well. It's a little bit broken, but that's because this has had quite a few number of tumbles, and this is technically considered a racing wing. It's tunable with different pieces that you can screw onto the back and stuff. But I just thought it looked cool, and so it's a pretty well built wing. As you can see, it did crack a little bit, but that was in a really bad landing, and that's expected for a basher buggy. It's only around $20 for this wing, so I highly recommend it. And you could even buy a few in bulk if you are prone to breaking these types of spoilers. With the gearing on this buggy, I do run 4S Lipo. I run Electron Pro 4-cell Lipo that's got an XT90 connector on it. And that gives it plenty of power. Even though it's an older Lipo, the gearing makes up for it. And if I ran this thing on 6S, it would probably just go way too incredibly fast. Speaking of speed, when I clocked this with my phone's GPS app, it got 45 miles per hour on 4S on dry pavement, just going straight. And that was, I didn't have much of run up, so I bet it could do faster than that. But overall, it is a very good number for a buggy like this, in my opinion anyway. But you guys let me know, is 45 miles an hour on 4S fast for an 8-scale buggy, or is it considered relatively slow? I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments. Alright, that is all of the modifications that have been done to my team associated Rc8.2e. I very rarely show this on camera, and part of that is just because this is my fun buggy, but I will try to get some videos out for this eventually. At the moment, the weather is turning. It's about to be winter where I live, so I might be a while, but don't worry, you will see this on camera eventually, and I'll show you some speed runs and some other fun stuff like that. Anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment in the section below for what videos you'd like to see next. But that's all for today, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.